So in 1 year, just buying, and that's only for 24 packets. Whatever, let's just say someone's buying just one box of Shakeology every single month for a year. That's $1,559.40. So it's no wonder that people lose money when they join MLMs, because they're spending $1,500 in their own personal products alone. That's insane. Hello you guys, my name is Caitlin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have been in a couple of multi-level marketing companies and I have lost money, and I don't recommend joining one. On this channel, I educate people on why multi-level marketing companies are not good business opportunities. And today I am commenting on a podcast episode. The podcast is called Hustle to Happiness, and the episode is called Take a Chance. And this podcast is hosted by Deidre Weaver, and she is somewhere at the top of Beachbody, and she has so many podcast episodes. And I actually, when I was in Lavelle, I remember listening to a couple of her podcast episodes that like my upline would send me, like, oh, listen to this, because her podcast episodes are kind of like trainings. And this particular episode goes into her story and why you should take a chance and join BODi. So we're gonna get right into it.
Welcome to Hustle to Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Deidre Weaver. I'm a mama on a mission to live life. I don't have it all figured out, but I'm learning more each day. And I'm here to help you take intentional action to find your happy and create the life of your dreams. I'll be sharing stories and knowledge through my seasons of growth and chaos with you to empower you to let go of the hustle and embrace life on your terms. Well, hello and welcome back. I'm so excited that you're here. Today, I'm coming to you in real time from the Dominican Republic. I have been gifted a trip to the Hard Rock Hotel, and we've been here since Thursday.
Okay, these trips that these Beachbody reps go on, they're not a gift. If it was a gift, you wouldn't have to pay taxes on it, and they don't tell you, oh, earn a free trip. But then you have to pay taxes on these trips, no matter like which company you're in. I know with like Lavelle, all-inclusive trip, like you'd have to pay taxes on whatever the company pays for you to go on.
And what a trip. And that's exactly what I want to dive in and talk about today, because today I want to share all about taking chances. When I look back on my life, it was never the moments of clarity that helped me grow or helped me become the person I am today. It was always the moments of, oh my gosh, am I making the right decision? And just trusting my gut. It was taking a chance on myself and my growth for my future. And it's scary. It's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to make changes. But for me, I'm the person, like, I'm going to look at the worst case scenario. What if I don't do this? What is the worst thing that's going to happen? And if you don't know my story,
If you don't join a multi-level marketing company, you're not gonna lose money, potentially lose friends, like you're not gonna miss out on much.
I have been with BODi, formerly known as Beachbody, now for 9 years. This month in March, I'm actually going to be celebrating my 9-year anniversary of being a partner, and I am just so honored. I'm so blessed with this gift because I shared in my stories today that this is not a job I ever expected. This was nothing that I searched out. I did not have any experience in the health and wellness market. And so being here is...
Sorry to pause this so much already, but like that's part of the problem, is that it's like, oh, no experience necessary, become a coach. They used to be called coaches, now they're partners. But coaches, if you label yourself as a coach, that means you have some credibility. But these people with no experience are like, oh, I'm suddenly an expert that could potentially harm people, and that's not okay.
Literally luck and chance. It wasn't my plan, it was God's plan. And that's what makes it so incredibly beautiful, is because I literally just went in with full heart and full faith, because what other choice did I have? When I found Beachbody, I was struggling. I was postpartum with 2 kids as a young mom. What they don't tell you is kind of how scary and hard and lonely it is. And you know that I share about that often. But as a new mom, I lost lots of friends. I felt and expected myself to be a better version of who I was. I was struggling with the baby blues and I didn't even realize it.
So what she's saying is that she was in a vulnerable position and someone came and took advantage of her and it's like, you need this amazing opportunity because it will fix your life, when that isn't most people's experience. I know with her, she says, I think in this video, that she has hit the top of the company in BODi, and good for her, but 99% of people in MLMs make no money or lose money. And I'm sure if, she was targeted because she was a vulnerable person, that she then is also looking for vulnerable people, like new moms who might have the baby blues or whatever, to recruit into her scheme.
And it was just a really hard season for me. My husband was constantly working and I never had someone there like with me, and I was too stubborn to ask family for help. So yeah, I found myself in a really dark place, in a place because I am a type A. Firstborn child. I am an achiever. I love to work hard. I'm super stubborn.
Same girl, same.
Don't like to admit when I need help, but I needed help and I didn't know how to ask for it. And so instead, I just lived in the misery. I thought that I was the issue. I thought that I was just a failure, and I didn't realize that so many other women struggle with this. And as I was living in my dark cloud, I was just not in a good headspace. However,
it really sucks that multi-level marketing companies, if you believe that like, oh, I'm the problem, I'm a failure, and then you try to be successful and you're not successful, you're gonna keep on repeating that narrative to yourself of like, oh, there must be something wrong with me because I haven't hit the top of the company. There must be something wrong with me because no one wants to join my team. When the problem's not you, the problem is the business model. But if you already have that mindset going into a multi-level marketing company, I feel like multi-level marketing companies continue to perpetuate that belief that you already have. And if you haven't seen my previous video, basically talking about that in like my 2-year post, like 2-year leaving an MLM, like I talk about that a lot.
However, my sister-in-law asked me to be in her wedding, and I wanted to feel attractive for my husband because I felt way less than attractive. When you have kids, your post-baby body is just not the same. You transform literally as you grow a human inside you, and then you birth this human, and then you take care of it. And if you're like me, then you also nurture and feed this child. And for me, personally, my family, we had kids back to back to back. So my husband and I, maybe a little crazy, but we did it intentionally. And in those first 2 kids, like those years, oof, I just felt so touched out, so worn out, so exhausted. And I didn't recognize that my body was going through all these changes. I just told myself this story that I just wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. I needed to change something. And so it was my body that I picked apart. I just wanted to lose weight, and I tried to lose weight so many times. But this girl, like, let me just be honest, your girl likes to eat. I like to eat, and I like to eat a lot of food. And telling me no doesn't work for me, because if I tell myself you can't have that, then I crave it and I want it, and it just eats me alive. Think of postpartum with 2 kids as I'm nursing a child, trying to restrict my food because, I grew up in diet culture. So you don't eat anything but salads, and that's how you lose weight, right? You work out a whole lot. And neither of those were my thing.
If you're nursing children, like, you need so much nourishment to be able to produce the to keep your milk supply up and all those things. And I feel like trying to diet, falling for diet culture when you're literally sustaining life to a child, that's not a good thing. And that really sucks that she's like, oh, I have to eat only salads so I can look better. But it's like, your body is like meant for so much more than just looking a certain way. And I want to remind everyone of that. So don't feel bad for wanting and liking food. And if you're nursing children, like, you need food. Everyone needs food no matter what.
I didn't love working out, and I really, really love food. And me, when I'm hangry, it is just not a cute look, okay?
Same.
But my friends, I had a couple people on social media, on Facebook, who shared their 21-day fix results. And I just kind of looked around. What is this? 21 days? That's all it takes to get those results? And so I got interested. And so I researched. And this program is something that you can do at home. And it has a nutrition plan. And it has workouts that you do every day. And I was like, okay, I can show up for 21 days. Surely. Like, I've got to do something. So I might as well try, because I've tried not eating. I tried eating just a little bit, and it just wasn't working for me.
So at the beginning of 2022 or 2021, must have been 2022, I bought a yearly Beachbody subscription. I joined some random girls like group, but I was like, okay, I'm not interested in Shakeology. Like, I don't support MLMs, and yet I was paying the $99 for the year to join their workout subscription program. And I did 21-day fix, and it's hard, honestly. And I wasn't following an eating plan. Like, I did buy the little containers for like the food portion fix. I did buy the containers for it, but I didn't know that in order to get all the information, if you're not like a coach or whatever, then you have to buy it separately. And I was like, oh, I'm not spending like $80 to learn about this. So cool, I got some colorful Tupperware. And I didn't, know how to follow that, nor did I care at that point. So yeah, I just did all the workouts, and it's like, they were challenging, but I guess I didn't really like keep track of my results if I had any. And honestly, I'd rather just do YouTube videos for free on the internet. And I think that's way better. And I don't honestly like autumn.
So I ordered this off of Amazon, and I got these DVDs, and my first workout the first move is surrenders, and oh my Lanta, I thought I was going to die. Did I mention that I'm not into working out? That was not my thing. I've learned it. I've come a long way in 9 years. But that first workout, it was a rough one. I didn't complete the program to a T. I actually didn't even dive into the nutrition, but I did a few workouts, and I built a little bit of confidence. And I told myself, okay, what if you actually put in some effort? What if you tried a little bit? And so the next round that I did every single workout, and I did feel results. I didn't measure anything. I still regret this to this day, but I felt different. I felt like my clothes are fitting better. I felt a little bit more confidence. And I just told myself, give yourself 30 minutes a day. It doesn't matter. Figure it out. Even if your kids are crying around you, even if you've got to wake up early, just get it done.
So you don't need BODi in order to prioritize your health and wellness or your fitness. That's really not necessary. You could hire a personal trainer, or just find YouTube videos, or join a gym, but you don't need to join an MLM to get fitness results.
Done. Give yourself 21 days. And I did. In that time, I went and got my hair done, and my hairdresser told me, she's like, oh, I have a friend who does that stuff. You should totally hit her up. It's her job to help people. And I was like, wait, what? There's people that help you with these programs? And so I reached out to her friend, who was then called a coach. And I said, hey, my hairdresser told me about this. Can you tell me more? She's like, yeah, that's what I do. I help people through these programs. I support them and cheer them on. However, I do require you to drink the Shakeology. And I was super skeptical. I told her, no, thank you. I've tried all the silly shakes and the crazy diets. I don't want to do that. I want to just eat healthier. I like to eat my food, and I don't love the taste of shakes. And she said, well, that's fine, but in order to be in my groups, this is a requirement. And so stubbornly,
I'm really thankful that when I was a part of the Beachbody group, that it was not a requirement to have shakes, because I wouldn't have joined it. Because I was like, nope, don't want any shakes, not interested. And thank goodness that my coach was not very pushy. So I'm grateful for that.
I asked my husband, and he laughed at me. And he said, Deidre, I'm not paying someone to help you lose weight. Just move your body and eat healthier. And I was just really annoyed because that's what I was doing, and I felt like I was failing because I am the person. If I'm showing up for me, I'm more likely not to show up. But if I'm showing up for someone else, damn, I give it my all. I put my whole heart into helping other people, into showing up for other people, into keeping promises to other people. But I wasn't able to do that for myself yet. And so instead, I saved. I saved money. I sold clothes that didn't fit. I sold house stuff that we didn't need. I babysat a little bit more. I took some pictures on the side to save up money for this Shakeology because I just knew that without support, I wasn't going to be going anywhere. So, yeah.
So, like, when people say, oh, I don't have any money, this is where they're like, oh, sell your stuff. What, sell your TV? Like, sell things you don't need in order to join my pyramid scheme. Like, she fell for it because she's like, oh, I need money because I can't join this group unless I buy Shakeology. And Shakeology is probably outrageous. I think I've heard various things. Let me look it up right now. For 24 packets of Shakeology, so 24 days, it's $130. That's not even a full month supply. That's unfortunate. So not worth it.
Yay me for like recognizing my needs. And so I took a chance. I was very nervous and very scared, and I told myself these shakes weren't going to work or make a difference. I asked for help, and I did something different because the life that I was living wasn't what I was proud of. The life that I was living made me feel super stuck, and I was willing to take a chance to create a different trajectory for my future. I just wanted to be happy. I wanted to feel good. I was tired of every single night crying myself to sleep. I was tired of when I woke up in the morning wishing the day didn't come. I was tired of yelling at my kids. I was tired of being resentful of my husband.
So I'm really happy that she recognized, like, oh, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm going to do something about it. Just sucks that it's like, oh, Beachbody is the solution. And yes, we can say, I don't want to invalidate her experience. Yes, it helped her, but it doesn't mean that it's not a scam. And this isn't most people's experience. And a lot of times people will exaggerate the truth of like, oh my gosh, it literally changed my entire life. It is the best thing since sliced bread, because they want you to join their team because they make money when you do.
And I was just, this makes me emotional. I was just in a really bad place and I was tired of being there. So I took a chance on me. And I was willing to work freaking hard. And that's just it. If I can do one thing, working hard is it. I can show up because it gives me something to work towards. I am very goal-oriented as a person. So I bought my bag of Shakeology and I did what my coach told me to. And I got plugged into her group. And it was life-changing. I know sometimes people say your life can't change with just one decision, but mine did. Mine absolutely did. In those 21 days, it was the first time ever that I showed up with true consistency and commitment and dedication to myself. It was the first time I ever did take healthy action with a healthy mindset for me. I was fighting and it was empowering. And what I found was a new sense of who I was. I was more than just a mom. I still mattered. My joy and my heart, my dreams and my visions, it still mattered. And when I was surrounded by an incredible community, people who were cheering me on, these strangers that I did not know were there cheering me on, talk about empowering. I realized that I wasn't alone in life and that.
So she's now talking about the community, but if she would have left Beachbody, all those people would have disappeared because she's no longer making them money. And that's very unfortunate, and that's kind of the reality, is that the friendships don't last if you leave.
That social media could be a very incredible tool to help me change, to help me connect with other moms, to help me not feel alone. And in those 21 days, I lost 9 pounds and 16 inches, and my mind was blown because I'm 5'2". So to see that difference in my body, I was like, oh my gosh. What I learned along the way was that there were incredible ways to make this shake thing. And the nutrition, I actually got a lot of food. I had to start learning how to eat more food because before I was just eating unhealthy options and or not eating nearly enough. It changed everything for me. However, as a stay-at-home mom, I was broke as a joke. And so I had to stop the Shakeology and I quit drinking it. And it was about 2 weeks later. My husband came home from work one day and I was stressed out to the max. I hadn't had a shake in 2 weeks, obviously, because I ran out. And he said something and I was instantly I was already like off the rails before he even came home. I was touched out, overwhelmed, overstimulated, all of the things. And he kind of backed up and took a deep breath and he said, "Have you been drinking your shakes?" And I just kind of paused and rolled my eyes and I told him, "No, you told me we weren't paying anyone to help me lose weight. I can't afford to buy that every single month." And he looked at me honestly, square in the eyes and said, "Deidre, I don't know what it's going to take, but we have to figure it out in our budget because you are different when you're drinking it." And that's when I realized it wasn't all in my head.
I guess if you start taking proper nutrition, that's really going to help your mental state. I know that if I cut out like sugar or dairy or gluten, like I feel so much good like mentally. And when I go back to eating junk, it's like, oh yeah, this is how I feel normally when I'm not eating healthy. And I do think proper nutrition is so important, but there's other ways to get it than through a Beachbody or BODi Shakeology shake. Like there's a lot like cheaper options out there, and just learn to eat better. And for me, so I mean, I'm not perfect, but I had to learn how to cook in 2021 when I decided to go dairy and gluten free because I decided to do 75-day hard, and that forced me to learn how to cook and learn how to make healthy meals and eat better. And I bought a meal plan, which was so helpful. And so you can do things that are not part of an MLM in order to get proper nutrition, or you can hire a nutritionist or a dietitian, or there's so many other options that are going to be cheaper in the long run than just buying Shakeology. And other options are not supporting an MLM.
I realized that the changes I was making and the action I was taking were making a difference in my health. The Shakeology wasn't just some weight loss shake like I had tried in the past. It's a shake that's jam-packed with nutrients, jam-packed with things that help me feel better, adaptogens to boost my mood, helped my body stay regular. So many benefits that I couldn't live without. And I've been here for 9 years, drinking it ever since. I told my coach then, I was like, I don't want to build your business, but I need this.
I wonder how much money she has spent on Shakeology for buying it every single month for 9 years. So it's $129.95. That is not including shipping or taxes. And that's retail price. I don't know what the discount is for BODi coaches, but let's see one. Get my handy dandy calculator. 129.95 times 12. So in 1 year, just buying, and that's only for 24 packets. Whatever, let's just say someone's buying just one box of Shakeology every single month for a year. That's $1,559.40. So times that by 9, that is $14,000. $14,034.60. So it's no wonder that people lose money when they join MLMs because they're spending $1,500 in their own personal products alone. That's insane.
This Shakeology, so I've got to get this discount. Set me up and let's do it. And so I signed up for the discount to be a coach, not because I wanted to build a business, but because I had to save money so that I could be healthy. so that I could be a better mom, so that I could be a better wife, so that I felt like my life was worth living. And that decision, again, changed my life for the better. Taking that chance of investing in my health every single month, that chance that was scary and I was unsure about, I felt selfish for, I did for the betterment of my family. And my coach told me, she's like, absolutely, like, that's perfectly fine. You do what you want to. She's like, but I would love for you to share your transformation and invite people to join me in the next group. And your girl loves the accountability and support. And I was like, well, yeah, my friends would be so fun in this group. And I shared my results. And what I found was that there were other real life women who had real life struggles like me, who saw me as a light, as an inspiration, because I'm just a regular old Joe, right? Like, they saw the change, though, not just in my body, but in my heart and in my smile and my energy. And so I was able to help them. And from there on, it was just a hobby, and I showed up every single month. And eventually I started hosting my own groups because I loved being that light in other people's lives. And then it was about 2 years after I'd signed up to be a coach. I was making a little bit money every single week, helping people, hosting my own groups, and it felt so good. I felt so changed. And I got pregnant, and I had a healthy pregnancy, and my kids were growing, and my husband was still working all of the time. I felt a little less like a burden. But then there got a point where I looked around at my life and I decided this isn't the life that I wanted to live. Because my husband was gone all the time working. He had an hour and a half drive to work, an hour and a half drive home. He would work nights so that he could make a little bit more money, and he would work 13-hour days. Easy. And there's something called a turnaround, and he was working a turnaround. And my middle child at the time was the biggest daddy's boy. And so every single night for 97 days straight, I had to rock my crying child to sleep because he missed his dad. And there is nothing more heart-shattering than having to tell your kid that you're sorry and there's nothing you can do. Your dad loves him, but your dad's at work and he can't be there. And I was living this life.
I can imagine how stressful that would be, but most people, Beachbody is not going to change their life in such a way that they can, wherever she's going with the story, but like bring their significant other home or whatever. Like, that's not the reality for most people. And she's sharing this episode called Take a Chance because if people listen to it, she wants them to hear her story and to see themselves like, oh, this is the solution to my problem. This is going to help me bring my husband home. This is going to help me, you know, not have my kid crying every single night because they miss their dad, because Beachbody is going to be the solution, when for most people that's not the case.
Life where I was a single married woman because my husband was never present. I was raising kids on my own. I was doing all of these things all by myself. And it's not the life I envisioned. I envisioned time together and, you know, the cute family memories, and I didn't get that. He missed out on all of the first. He missed out on all of the time together. And I realized this wasn't the life that I signed up for. This wasn't the life I wanted to live. And I recognized that I had a choice right then and there. I was building this business accidentally. And I had an opportunity to keep living the life that I was living, or I could take a chance on me.
So I just want to say that, like, I feel like when people decide to have children, do they think about these things, like how much it's going to cost, how much you're going to have to work in order to cover the cost of raising children, of maybe one person not working? And right now, I guess I'm a dink, dual income, no children, no kids. And I'm like, I eventually do want kids, but I know that I can't work at my current job if I choose to have children. So it's like, I don't know, like, I'm going to school, but I don't want to be in this situation. Like, I know what I don't want. And I also know that joining an MLM is not going to help me because been there, done that. And so I think it's so important to literally think about your future before you start having a bunch of kids, so that way you're not in a situation like this, you know? And it sucks that for most people, not everyone thinks about these things, you know?
I knew that I was a hard worker. I know that I'm a dreamer. I know that I'm capable. And being able to practice that and see that in my own body physically was everything. And I looked at my business and I said, what if I stopped just kind of trying and I actually gave it my all? What if I went all in on me? Oh, and I fought for my life and my family, and I showed up like it meant something to me. And that's what I decided. Then and there, I decided to go all in.
It just sucks that no matter how hard you work, most people make no money or lose money no matter how much they work, no matter how hard of a worker they are. And that's because the business model is so flawed. And it sucks.
And I whispered to my crying baby that I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for you so that this isn't our life. And I told my husband, and he, I think, was very skeptical, just to say the least. But I told him, like, I don't want this. I want a life with us together. And so I put it all out on the line. If I could match his income, gosh, how incredible would that be? Because I was already paying for our groceries each week. Even by just helping some friends here and there, I was able to make $50 every single week to buy our groceries. I was covering all the supplements that I was using every single month. And that felt good. I felt less like a burden and more like I was helping. And so I went all in on my business. I went all in on my life. I went all in on my future. I took a chance. I wasn't good at social media. I didn't feel inspiring. I'm nothing.
She definitely took a chance because when joining an MLM, it is a gamble.
Special. I'm just me, a mom who struggles with daily life, with the chaos, with raising kids, with growing and changing. And I just knew that I wasn't alone. And I looked back at that me before I started and I said, if I can help just one mom see the changes that I've felt in my life, that's all that I really want. I want to shine my light so brightly so that another mom knows that she can create change, so that she knows she is not alone and doesn't have to go through life alone. That there is joy on the other side of the darkness, and she can create that for herself. And that year I put it all out on the line. And let me just put a disclaimer here in case. BODi does not guarantee any success. It is all dependent on your skills, your knowledge, and your due diligence. Are you willing to work for it, right? And I was willing to fight. I wanted to be able to match my husband's income so he did not have to work the way that he was working before. I wanted him to have the confidence to be able to walk away from that job that was sucking the life out of him and out of our family. I wanted him to know that I was going to help lift the financial burden. And so that year was absolutely beautiful and incredible. And the following year, he was able to take time off work to go on a week-long vacation with us. We had him home nights and weekends, and eventually he was able to walk away from that job. And he found a more sustainable, more realistic job that he absolutely loved. And we were able to spend time with him. And that was the biggest blessing ever. And since then, it's been years of transformation. Obviously, I've been here for 9 years. So sharing every step of that in a podcast feels impossible. But I took a chance on me. And with that, our family has been able to grow and become closer. And then a pandemic happened. And I took a chance on homeschooling. And then so many things, right? And it doesn't have to be big things. I'm sharing my big things with you because big chances are even more terrifying. But it could be taking a chance in just the little things. Like I said, for me, it started by pushing play on a workout 30 minutes a day. It started with mindset and building my confidence and growth. It started by looking in the mirror and talking better to myself. It started small. And through those small chances that I took, it created change. And I think that's the biggest thing is people think that one day you're just going to wake up to be motivated and decide that it's time for change. And that's not how it works. Your action is what creates the confidence you need to take it to the next level. You take the baby step now so that the future you knows like, hey, I'm capable. I'm freaking intelligent. I know I can do this. And I'm going to take that next step. The chance isn't the big life altering thing. And maybe if that's where you are in your season, that might be it, right?
But you don't have to join an MLM to take a chance and improve your health.
Maybe that is what you need. Maybe you've been working so hard and you've been building your confidence and you know something doesn't feel right, but it's scary. It's scary to say, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm willing to fight for. But you know deep down that it's time. You know deep down it's time for that change. You know deep down that your future will be brighter if you take that step. I'm here as proof to share that taking the chance matters. So what if you fail? You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. That's part of the path to success. Failure does not mean that you just roll over and quit, right? It just means you learned one way not to do something. And trust me, in the past 9 years, I've failed lots of times. As a mom, I've failed lots of times. As a wife, I've failed lots of times. As a human being, I have failed. But in those pain points, in those struggles, that's where I learn and that's where I grow. I don't want to be that old version of a mom that I was because everything that I've learned and up till now, like, I'm doing a damn good job. I don't want to be the old wife that I was, constantly picking fights, holding resentment and hate. I want to be the mom or the wife that I am now who communicates clearly, who shows affection, who is here to fight for her marriage. I don't want to be the woman who lacked self-confidence and who never was willing to...
You don't need Beachbody to change for the better. Like, there's so many things out there, like self-help books. You can do personal development without joining Beachbody. You can eat healthier without joining Beachbody. You can find workouts you love without joining Beachbody. Like, Beachbody is not going to magically solve all of your problems. You have to do the work, and you can do that work without joining an MLM.
Show up and step out. Like, I like the woman that I am today, who's loving and kind and empathetic, who pushes you and encourages you, the one who's willing to get uncomfortable and face her fears for the growth that she knows is coming. Taking a chance can be scary, but your life is literally on the other side of your fears. And I know I can say that all day long, and you're never going to know it until you actually do that thing, until you take the brave action to go. The thing is, it takes consistency, and it takes taking a chance every single day. But I believe in you, and I know that it's possible. Here I am on my most recent BODi trip that I earned from my hard work. I've been in the top of the company for the past 6 years.
Did she earn it, or was she gifted it? Because at the beginning she said she was gifted it.
And I didn't want a business. I just wanted to be healthy. I just wanted to feel good. And so I decided to take action. And it wasn't my plan. It was God's plan the whole time. And I'm here every day shining my light so bright so that one woman knows that she can too.
Okay, well, in my opinion, don't join Beachbody or BODi. I don't think it's a good thing. It's an MLM, obviously. So that's this one top leader's story. So there you have it. That is my commentary on this podcast episode. Hustle to Happiness. The podcast episode's called Take a Chance. And that's my commentary on it. Let me know what you think. I know that she was sharing her Beachbody story because she wants other people to take a chance and also join BODi, when in my opinion it is a sinking ship. I would not recommend that. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a fabulous day. Feel free to check out all my previous videos and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye.